And welcome back to the Family Medicine Rocks podcast right here on Blog Talk Radio. And next topic here is having to do with family medicine. My good friends in family medicine. This is the Family Medicine Rocks podcast, so I'll be talking about family medicine here. And shout out to everybody who's listening to me live here. I see you out there. I don't have the chat room open here this evening. But hey, thank you for joining me live. And of course, thanks for everybody for listening to the show after the show. On the archived podcast. So thank you so much for that. So last week in Kansas City was the American Academy of Family Physicians. They have their committee meetings, their winter committee meetings out in the Kansas City area. This is the first time that they've had that in a number of years. So they haven't had that for a while because of budgetary reasons. But I think it's great that they have their committees meeting more than once a year in person. So that's very cool. And something that they tried to do last week, which I think went off pretty well, is they tried to hashtag the thing. And the hashtag was AAFPWC, meaning Winter Cluster, meaning Winter Committee Meetings. So it was the usual suspects out there tweeting out there during the meeting. You can go to twitter.com and just search for the hashtag there, AAFPWC, and you can see the usual suspects out there tweeting out the meeting. Very much appreciate that. But yeah, those people, they're trying to get more people to get out there. And I did see at least a couple people, at least one resident out there who was just signed up for Twitter during the meeting. So that is very cool. But we got a couple tweets from the AFP president himself. And one of his, well, actually it wasn't a tweet, it was more on his Facebook page. He says here, the AFP Winter Cluster Commission meetings underway in Kansas City. Dedicated family physicians contributing from their particular areas of interest and expertise to advance the work of our academy. Their hard work is relayed to the board for consideration and action. Many thanks to all of you commission members, past and present, for all of your efforts. Your academy and fellow family physicians are grateful. And you remember a couple weeks ago, my good friend Kevin Bernstein was on the show, and we got to reminisce a little bit about those meetings. And he was there as well last week, but I was not. I hope to be back there. Maybe I'll apply for a commission appointment next year. But it's always exciting. There's always a lot of energy during those meetings there. You got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of new people. Got to meet the residents and students going to that meeting. They always bring a lot of energy there. And it's great. It's great seeing the academy at work. That's my academy dollars at work there, kids. Hope you lived it up. Just kidding. But it was good. So that was kind of the first big AFP meeting of the year. So they had their hashtag there. So hopefully that momentum will continue through the next AAFB meetings through the rest of the year. Another update I want to give people about is something I'll probably be talking about at the end of this month. It is the Medicare Sustainable Growth Rate Formula, SGR. I talked about that on my blog at the end of December when the last crisis was going to be happening, when Medicare rates for physicians were going to be cut 20+%, or was it 30+%? I forget what it was. So they were able to push back the deadline to the end of this month, to the end of February. So there's a blog post here from the AAFP Leader Voices blog from Friday, February 3rd. The title is Physician Groups Unite Behind SGR Message to Congress. I'm going to read part of this here. The AFP and other physician groups are working together to keep pressure on lawmakers to repeal the Sustainable Growth Rate Formula. Representatives from all kinds of medical organizations met along with the AAFP during a January 31st visit to Capitol Hill. It was the first time the nation's four largest medical specialty groups representing physicians who care for Medicare patients converged on Washington with a unified message. It was a powerful statement that these four disparate? I don't want to say desperate. It's not desperate. disparate groups, despite their differences, are united against the broken Medicare payment system. Together, we represent more than 400,000 physicians. So today is February 12th, so you'll probably hear more and more of this in the next few weeks. But you're going to hear more and more, as the days go on until the end of this month, till February 29th, 2012. You're going to see more and more of this from all the medical organizations. I hope the physicians start to blog about this. I hope they start to not only blog about it, but talk to our colleagues about it. Talk to your congressional representatives about this Medicare sustainable growth rate formula, because if the cuts go through, there's going to be major access problems in which Medicare patients may not be able to see their physicians because it may not be, cost worthy for them to see Medicare patients. I know people are going to say, "Hey, doctors are being, they're being selfish, they're being greedy by not seeing these patients." But let me tell you, you're getting a 25 or 35% cut in your salary. How are you going to pay the bills? How are you going to pay the people that work for you? How are you going to keep the phones going? How are you going to keep the lights going? How are you going to keep, forget about, the big medical expenses as far as, health care insurance for your employees, your liability, your malpractice insurance, your utilities, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a major problem in this country. And the more that Congress keeps putting this off, the bigger problem is going to be down the road. So I'll be talking about this probably more in the next few weeks as we get closer to that February 29th deadline. And as I predicted in December, I'm going to predict it's going to come down again to the 11th hour, where they come up with some kind of deal. Hopefully it'll be a permanent deal, but I think it's going to be another Band-Aid fix. And then we're going to have more of a problem as this presidential election process starts to get more going here.